morning, I'm Kristin Omdahl, and welcome back to Barefoot Beach. I'm about ready to go for a walk down here and enjoy, hopefully see some dolphins or, I don't know, maybe a manatee or some turtles. Anyhow, I wanted to first start by saying thank you so much for all of your questions. When I first thought about doing this series of videos, I had a real hard time coming up with the questions, and I realized that it doesn't matter what I think you want to hear, it matters what you want to hear me talk about and what you want me to answer for you. So I appreciate all the questions, and a lot of them were not what I thought you would want to hear, so it's even been more of a learning experience for me. And that brings me to today's question, which was, how did I start my business? And I can't actually give you a cut and dried answer about that, because it wasn't like I went to the courthouse one day and said, I'm going to start a business today. It was more of an evolution. I was running from a dangerous ex-husband with a baby and trying to figure out a way to be a stay-at-home mom and also make a living and keep a roof over our heads. And so I really just tried to find any way to be creative and make money at being creative. I did things like make garments ready to wear for boutiques, and I designed for magazines and yarn companies. I started designing for book publishers, started getting books published, and through the years I've done all sorts of different kinds of jobs within my creative industry, just constantly trying to figure out which avenue was going to make me the most money. And after, what is it now, 13 or 14 years in the industry, I've realized there isn't one. It's about juggling, it's about having more than one egg in your basket at all times. If you're looking to get rich quick, this isn't the industry to do that in, but if you are extremely creative and bursting at the seams for ways to be creative with yarn and crafts, then it's a wonderful industry to be in. There's amazing people, there's lots of ways to teach people, to inspire people, and it can be a lot of fun, but it's not about the money. And which brings me to one of my favorite quotes. Dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. And if you have a desire to be a creative person and to work in the creative industry, just start creating. Don't worry about how you're going to get there. Just start being the person you want to be. The money will come or the money won't come, but if you want to be a creative enterprise, you just have to be that. I think owning a business, especially owning a business in the creative industry, is going to constantly be an evolution process. I know in my experience it has been, and so I think one of the best pieces of advice that I can give somebody who desires to work in the creative industry is to have an open mind and be open to change. And maybe that applies to entrepreneurs throughout across the board in other industries as well. But I know in this industry it's important to be open to change and open to looking at things in a different way. Especially the internet and just the trends, they move so quickly. You have to be willing to go with the flow and not be rigid in your ideas. Being an entrepreneur means being very passionate and not worrying about the hours you work. There are no guarantees, but there is so much joy that comes from being able to make the decisions, and I wouldn't have it any other way, but it's not for everybody at the same time. If you're looking for a 9-to-5 and a paycheck every week, nah, being an entrepreneur probably isn't for you. If you're looking for paid vacation, it's probably not for you either. I don't think I've been on vacation in, well over 10 years. And my last day off was last summer. Anyway, we won't focus on that. But you know what? I don't need a vacation from my life. That's the flip side of it. Being an entrepreneur, being a maker or an artist isn't always about the money. I don't believe it is. And you know, if that's what you desire to be, then be a maker or an artist for the joy of being a maker or an artist. If it turns into a living, wow, are you lucky, and are you living a dream come true. But there's nothing wrong with enjoying making, enjoying being creative for its own rewards. that brings me to another question that I was asked, and that was, do you make a lot of money? And this one made me laugh at first because I was like, oh my God, who would ask that? And it actually triggered a memory that I have of living overseas and living in another country. And you know, there was a time when I had company over to my house, and it was pretty common for women to want to go on a tour of your home when they came in. And they went so far as to walk in every room and open up my drawers. They even opened up my underwear drawer in my dresser. And I was so taken aback by that at first, until after I lived there a couple of years and I realized it was just part of the curiosity of wanting to know who you were. It wasn't that people were going through your stuff, it was just part of getting a feel for you. And so when I read this question, do you make a lot of money? My first reaction was to laugh. My second reaction was, oh my God, who would ask that? And then I realized it just comes from a natural curiosity. And I'm sure you can assume from the last answer about vacations and days off that the answer is probably no. I haven't fallen on my butt yet. I have managed to survive for 13 years doing this 100% without extra income. However, I have to say it's not for the faint of heart, and I'm longing for the day when I am financially secure, but in the meantime, we're still floating. Being an entrepreneur means you wake up in the morning passionate about what you're going to do for your business again today. You know, how are you going to inspire somebody? How are you going to teach someone something new? How are you going to make your products more exciting? Well, you know, I'm just always bursting with ideas and bursting with excitement to share. I love my industry, I love my business, and I love my products. And when you find something that you love that much, you'll never work a day again. I'm about ready to go for a walk now, so I will catch up with you later. Please remember to leave your questions in the comments so I can answer them for you. Bye!